Hello. If you are not sure if you should watch this chess video or not, I would like to say to you, yes, please watch it because it will be about one of the biggest chess curiosity in of the history of our game. I've been making chess videos for some months, but all my chess videos were in Polish language, and my chess channel is so far the biggest Polish chess YouTube channel. But I decided that it will be good if I will start to making also videos in English language because it will be possible to watch it and understand for much more people, not if only it will be in Polish. At the picture you can see the position which arose in 1933 in Madrid. White pieces Ortueta, black pieces Sanz. Last move was rook to d2. Sanz tries to capture this pawn on b2, so Ortueta decided that move knight to e4 will be correct. Idea is simple: to guard pawn on b2 and to attack twice bishop on b6. But Sanz decided to play rook to b2. Just like if white didn't play the move knight a4. Well, when Ortueta saw this move, he had only one choice: to take the rook. But it was all what Sanz needed. He played c3. What now? There are a few possibilities. Firstly, knight a4. But now, of course, it's possible to play simply pawn to c2 and it's over. If knight to d1, all it's the same. c2, black wins. If knight to d3, then c4 with a check. King f1, c takes d, king e1, c2, king d2, and now the key move. Bishop e3 with check. But never mind if black kings will take the bishop, will take pawn on d3, or it will go to c3 or to e1 in the next move. Black will queens and game is over once again. So after move 32 in the game, move c3, Ortueta decided to take the piece, last piece which black had. Rook takes b6. Now, as you can see, white's two pieces up. And at the moment when it's black to move, black has possibility to take either rook on b6 or knight on b2. But what is really beautiful in this position, Sanz didn't decide to take any of the pieces. Let's see why. If now pawn takes rook, then knight to d3, c4, but now without a check, just like in a previous example, previous variation. Knight to c1, and as we can see, black has three pawns on the queen side, but it leads to nothing. This knight on c1 makes position really safe for white. Black pawns will be lost very soon. That's why Sanz decided to play c4. But now Ortueta found a move which I think for him was a move for a victory. A rook to b4. Still, white is two pieces up. And black has only pawns. Pawns on c3, pawns on c4. So it's double pawns, which looks that it's not enough to play even for a draw, not only for a victory. So after rook b4, I bet that Ortueta was almost sure that he's gonna win this game. Because, for example, if now c takes b, then of course rook takes b2. If simply c2, then of course rook takes c4, and in the next move white rook is gonna take another pawn and game once again is over. But now the most beautiful move in all the game. Sanz played a5. Wow. The most beautiful thing in all these variations is, I think, that when at the beginning of this combination, Sanz had to see the move a5, because without a5 he was gonna lose, but when he has a5 he's gonna win. What now? Really hard decision for white, because if rook takes c4, then c takes b, and now we see that after a5 white's rook will not play on a b4. It's not possible also to play a rook c1, of course, because pawn is gonna take a rook. So now, at the moment, white decided to resign. There is nothing better. This game, you may know. You can find this game, for example, in a really famous book by Alexander Kotov, Play Like Grandmaster. It's possible to find it also in a lot of tactics books. But still there is something more which you should know about this position. Once again, please, let's gonna look at the position after move rook to d2. Try to remember where the pawns on the king side, and look at the position once again. Now pawns are at different squares. Queen side is absolutely the same, but look once again. Ortueta Sanz, now king side pawns, and king side pawns now. At the moment, this is not position from Ortueta Sanz. This is position from game Tylkowski-Wojciechowski, played in Poznań in 1931, so 2 years before game in Spain was played. It's almost the same. The only difference are the pawns on the king side, sorry, of course. Queen side is absolutely the same. So after rook d2, Tylkowski decided to play knight a4, and the rest is clear for us now. The same move a5. So in 1931, Wojciechowski found these combinations, and 2 years after, Sanz played absolutely the same combination. Of course, both of the players were masters, and both of them could see in this variation, could calculate it, and they could see a move like a5, because without a5 it would lead to nothing. As we already know, Ortueta decided to resign after a5, and after a5, Tylkowski decided to play knight c4, so we can see now what would happen if Ortueta wouldn't resign. c2, knight takes f5, c1 queen with a check, and after king h2, simply queen c5. Both pieces are attacked, and if rook a4 now, then queen h5 check, king g1, queen d1, once again with a check, and now it's a double attack. So it's clear that at the position which we can see now, black simply wins. Tylkowski could see this, so he played rook to b2, but now Wojciechowski simply decided to take the knight, and after a few more moves like this, it was all over and black won. in this brilliant way. What we should know about the game Tylkowski-Wojciechowski is also that some people were sure that it's a fake game. Because Ortueta Sanz game was really famous, as I saw. It's possible to find it even in a so well-known book as Play as Like a Grandmaster by Kotov. That's why some people were sure that after game in Spain was so famous, someone decided to try to make a game which would be almost the same. But now, after so many years, chess historians and chess fans are almost sure that game Tylkowski-Wojciechowski is also a real game which was played in Poznan in 1931. This is not a fake game. Because when we see all the moves, it looks that it was a normal game with all chess logics, without strange moves which would lead only to make the position which allows to play this kind of combination. No, this is a real normal chess game, but which leads to this amazing combination with when pawns are winning against rook and knight. And the same combinations arose 2 years later in Madrid. This is something amazing, and this is without any doubt one of the biggest curiosities in chess history. But this is another example how great is our game, that even something like this may happen. Of course, as we know, almost every chess game is different, but sometimes some patterns may happen twice, and this happened also in this example. Ortueta Sanz and Tylkowski-Wojciechowski. 2 games and 1 combination. The same.